Are we live? Hold up. Keanu Reeves is coming to Star Wars? Finally? Wait a second. The Ahsoka ending has been leaked? Holy, what the heck is going on on this Tuesday evening? What's up, guys? It's Mike, a guy who loves Star Wars. Now, we got a lot to talk about tonight. Keanu Reeves possibly actually coming to the role of Darth Revan, as many Star Wars fans have begged for years to happen. That might just be happening. We also have to talk about the Ahsoka the Ahsoka show itself, the ending of it being leaked. Now, not who dies, who dies, who's in the show. It's not like that crazy of a leak, and of course, it's just a rumor for now because nothing's really 100% until we've seen it with our own two eyes. However, the Ahsoka ending has been leaked. Now, if you don't want any leaks at all, now I'm not guaranteeing that these leaks are true. However, they are coming from very reliable sources inside of the industry, such as Making Star Wars, Bespin Bulletin. These great names who are usually right are the ones who are releasing all this information. So we got a lot to talk about today regarding the Ahsoka show, but then last minute, just over the course of today, there was a lot of news coming out about the possibility of Keanu Reeves coming to Star Wars, and I'm sure as many of you know, the fan favorite cast for Keanu Reeves is Darth Revan from the Old Republic. Now, I'm sure many of you would be very excited to see that, because let's be honest, it would be amazing. However, it seems less and less likely that this was going to ever happen, because Keanu Reeves is getting only older, and if you're going to do Darth Revan, you're going to want to do him as a Jedi first, and then have his fall to the dark side and all that other stuff. You're going to want to play through the entire story arc of Darth Revan. However, and honestly, I think we should start with this Darth Revan stuff because it's so damn cool. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Should we start with Darth Revan? Should we start with the Ahsoka leaks? Where should we start with today's stream? First, let's start off with the poll. Why not? People are going to be confused when they come into the stream and see that the poll has to do with Keanu Reeves, but I don't care. So we're talking about Ahsoka leaks, of course, today. However, the poll is going to be about Keanu Reeves. So, do you want Keanu? How do you even spell Keanu? Keanu. Sure, close enough. How do you spell Reeves? Reeves. Is that how you spell Keanu Reeves? How do we spell Keanu Reeves? Somebody help me out. Please. Keanu Reeves. Oh, there's two E's. All right, got it. Two E's. Got it. Wait, two E's at the beginning or the end? Beginning. Got it. Okay. Do you want Keanu Reeves to play Darth Revan? Let's put it simple as that. Yes or no? You tell me. Darth Revan. Do you want him? And do you want Keanu Reeves as him? Let's start it there. Well, 100% yes. Oh, what a surprise. Off to a good start. Let's get into this first. Let's get into this article first, all about this craziness. Thanks for the hearts. Smash a gosh darn like on this video if you haven't already. I don't know what you're waiting for. Okay, let's talk about this a little bit here. So this is coming from Acolyte reports. So this is kind of craziness. Let's just get it. Let's just dive into it. Let's just dive on into it, all right? Oops. Boop. There we go. Star Wars The Acolyte spends $49 million on pre-production costs. That's insane, but the next sentence is what makes a lot of people excited. That is Keanu Reeves cast, ? Now, $49 million before they've even started production is insanity. Whether or not this is for the volume, if they're trying to get pre-production for the volume, or if we're just going crazy over here. Honey Badger first in today says, yes, please, been waiting on this Keanu Revan forever. Yeah, I agree. I completely agree. I think it's the greatest idea ever, but let's read on to see what's actually going on here. Over the last couple of days, the reports from Forbes appears with the headline, Disney spends $49 million on Star Wars spin-off The Acolyte. But there's much more to this story. It's not just $49 million, it's just $49 million on the pre-production. Now, Acolyte has finished its production. Should I move that over a little bit? Boop, there we go. Acolyte has finished its production, so this writer's strike is not really going to have any effect at all on the Acolyte show. We should still get the Acolyte show early in 2024, and it should not get postponed because of the strikes going on in Hollywood, and it shouldn't be affected. They always do their stupid Patreon thing here, but here we go. When I came across the headline from Forbes, my eyes lit up and a wave of confusion crashed over me. $49 million on a Star Wars series? That can't be right. Naturally, I popped open the link and read the entire articles, something that's quite rare on the internet, it seems, as we are about to do right now, and discovered that the headline was really quite misleading in some ways, as they usually are, but true in others. Forbes are reporting that $49 million was spent on the Acolyte's pre-production and not on the series as a whole. The Acolyte's production budget was not $49 million. However, given the title of the article, you can understand how some fans have been confused and thinking that it was $49 million on a series and not just the pre-production. That's why you always read the entire article. So obviously, a giant Star Wars series on Disney Plus is not going to only cost $49 million. That's ridiculous. Andor Season 1 cost $250 million, which is just way too much. But then you have The Mandalorian and The Book of Boba Fett and those other shows, the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, that kind of are right in the middle where they're supposed to be, which is around $100 to $150 to $200 million, which sounds insane because Disney's trying to save money. But wait till you hear this. Okay. The Forbes article goes on to say that The Acolyte spent $5 million more than Rogue One, A Star Wars Story in pre-production. But that is, but that Star Wars The Last Jedi spent 17% more, and Andor spent a whopping 38% more than The Acolyte did in pre-production. So this is all just pre-production. Before the show even starts producing, this is like the volume probably stuff kind of, this is creating sets, this is creating costumes. This is all the stuff that happens before you shoot for the show. So The Last Jedi, of course, cost 17% more, but the Andor show, which we know cost $250 million, was 38% more. So, in regards to Andor, it was a series, blah, 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 blah. There we go. The Forbes article added that the TV series produced in the United Kingdom benefited from the Television Tax Relief, or the TPC scheme, which allowed studios to claim a reimbursement of up to 25% of the money they spent in the UK, and that at least 10% of the core costs of the production needs to relate to activities in the United Kingdom. Forbes added that the Acolyte spending was forecasted to be in line with the production budget. One condition of getting the cash reimbursement is that the production must spend at least $1.3 million per broadcast hour, and that by September 22nd of last year, the Acolyte qualified for the cash reimbursement of $7.6 million. So that's a lot to take in. So let's break it down real quick. So there's this thing in the UK for like some relief thing, television tax thing called the TPC. And this allows studios to be reimbursed for up to 25% of the money they spend while they are in the UK creating their shows. Now, Acolyte was able to do that. They got $7.6 million back in reimbursements because of all the hard work that they did in the UK. And that's pretty much it. But here's what actually is going on with the budget for the Acolyte show. It is my understanding that the Acolyte budget is more than $100 million, which, I mean, that's not crazy. That's what The Mandalorian is. That's what all these other things are. That's not too wild. So, $100 million, and that costs more than most Star Wars series. Andor is the highest production budget of the Star Wars series, but it is Skeleton Crew that follows up with the second highest budget of $136 million. I believe the Acolyte cost more than Skeleton Crew, but I don't know how much more. TV series for Disney's tentpole franchises have cost significantly more than their U.S. counterparts, with Andor and Secret Invasion both costing over $200 million to produce. So Skeleton Crew, which comes out after Ahsoka, and now the Acolyte show are probably going to cost around $100 to $150 million, which sounds like a lot, but when you compare it to Secret Invasion, which is coming out right now, which cost over $200 million, and the Andor show, Andor Season 1, I should say, which cost $250 million, the Acolyte show kind of seems like a cheaper project. But let's read on, because this is when things get a lot more interesting. The Forbes article also mentions that details of the Acolyte are tightly under wraps, but adds that the online rumor from recent days revealed that Keanu Reeves, from John Wick, but we know who Keanu Reeves is. We know who Keanu Reeves is. Do we know who Keanu Reeves is? You guys know who Keanu Reeves is, right? Is a part of the cast of the Acolyte show. A part of the cast of the Acolyte show. Let's take a pause right there, and then we'll come back to this article. What do you think about this possibility of Keanu Reeves joining the cast, trying to keep it a secret, first of all, meaning that it's most likely, of course, it's not. We'll get into where this is coming from, the sources and all that other stuff. However, Keanu Reeves coming to Star Wars, that only means one thing. Darth Revan. Now, I think if we know Kathleen Kennedy's in charge, we know Disney's stupid and they're dumb and they're dumb and they're stupid and they're stupid and they're dumb. However, they've done this time and time again, where the fans, I don't know why I put fans in quotations, where the fans will cast a character. Look at the character that we're about to get in 1 month, Ahsoka Tano. She's been in live action for a few years now, since The Mandalorian Season 2. And who plays Ahsoka Tano? But Rosario Dawson. And the fans, us fans ourselves, casted her as Ahsoka Tano. Somebody made some fan art, said, oh, Rosario would be a great pick for Ahsoka live action. And us fans made that happen. This is not the first time that a fan cast would come into reality. Even in the Marvel side of things, John Krasinski was Reed Richards in Multiverse of Madness. This seems to be a more common occurrence in this new social media era of entertainment. We can actually have a voice as fans and get what we want. So here's the thing. Is this actually true? Do you guys think this is actually real? Do you think Keanu Reeves has been cast for the Acolyte show? And if so, do you think it is Darth Revan? Logan, what's up? Logan says, Keanu Reeves. I saw him kill 3 guys in a bar with a lightsaber. I don't think he did. Honey Badger says, no way, so much more hyped for Acolyte now, let's go. Okay, so yeah, if this rumor is true, and we're going to get into the validity of this report and all that other stuff very, very soon, but if this is true, the Acolyte just, boom, it's right under the Ahsoka show now. The Ahsoka show is still my most anticipated show, it's not even close, but the Acolyte was very, very low on my list because of the stupidity that's coming out of Leslie Headland's mouth, but also just, I was excited. I was like, ooh, a Sith-centered show. Ooh, that sounds sick. It's in the High Republic. Ooh, awesome. Count me in. This cast is loaded. You got the guy from Squid Games. You got the girl from Logan. You got this, that, and the other thing. And then Leslie Headland had to open her stupid mouth. But that's a whole nother issue. That's a whole nother issue. You add Keanu Reeves to the cast? I don't care what did Leslie Headland say. Leslie Headland could come out and say anything. I don't care. Okay, maybe not anything, but you know what I mean. Keanu Reeves as Darth Revan, that changes the entire game. That changes everything we thought we knew about anything. So yeah, the thumbnail might say Ahsoka ending. The name of this live stream might be Ahsoka ending gets leaked, but this is the craziest thing that could possibly happen to us right now. So we're starting the stream with it and deal with it. Okay. Austin says, "Sorry, I'm late. Never be sorry that you're late. We're just happy you're here." He says, "I love Ahsoka." Yeah, we love Ahsoka here. We love Ahsoka here. Dennis says, "The Inquisitorius in Ahsoka trailer is Morok from Rebels. Who is that the eighth brother, or is Morok a different character from Rebels? I know his name is Morok, but I thought Morok was just like a nobody." Austin Snow says, "I can't wait to see Darth Plagueis." Well, here's the thing. If they're going Darth Revan, it's obviously going to be flashbacks, or like you just hear his voice or something along those lines. Darth Revan's dead by this time. He's dead by this time. He's an old Republic character. I seriously doubt that they would bring him all the way up until the High Republic. It's just not going to happen. So it's going to be a flashback, or it's going to be his voice, or like some sort of Sith Force ghost or something along those lines. But if you're adding in Darth Revan, that means you could hear from Darth Bane. That means you could see Darth Plagueis. Like, anything is possible at this point. If they're spending $50 million on pre-production, if they're spending over $100 million on production, if they have Keanu Reeves in this freaking show, this Acolyte show might be the answer. The answer to what? All our worries about anything that John and Dave don't touch being garbage. Because let's be honest, everything that they haven't touched thus far, i.e. the sequel trilogy, i.e. even, let's say, the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, which again, the finale was fantastic. Whatever they don't touch is subpar. It's definitely not up to the same quality as what they do touch. Dave Filoni, everything he touches turns to gold. There's nothing that comes anywhere close to the Clone Wars, Rebels, Mando Season 2. Nothing comes close to any of that in this new Disney era, except for what Dave Filoni is working on. If the Acolyte show is this good, that means Dave Filoni can still do his stuff. He can still make the Heir to the Empire movie. He can still do all this other stuff, maybe Ahsoka Season 2, whatever he wants to do, and we don't have to worry nearly as much about projects that he's not involved in. Because as of right now, that's the worry. We know he's involved in the Skeleton Crew, which is why we're excited for Skeleton Crew. We know he's involved in the Ahsoka show. That's why we're excited for the Ahsoka show. However, the Acolyte show, as soon as Leslie Headland opened her mouth, a lot of us went, holy crap, what is this show even going to be about? All the people at Star Wars Celebration talking about the Acolyte show, they really didn't have much good things to say. So this news changes everything. Logan says, basically just a play on a quote from Kayana, sure, where he killed 3 guys with a pencil. Oh, okay. I get you. Honey Badger says, I've been so hyped for Acolyte. This makes it even better. I was right to believe in it. Yeah, you always believed in it from day one, Badger. I had my doubts for sure. I had my doubts. I still have my doubts because this is yet to be confirmed. This is yet to be confirmed, and until it is, we don't know it to be true at all. This could all just be speculation. We could all just be a big letdown. It's the same thing when we were going into the Book of Boba Fett and we were almost convinced that Emilia Clarke was back as Kiara. She would be in the show with the Crimson Dawn. We were literally convinced that this was going to happen. Oh, that sucks. Sorry, my mouse is dying. My Bluetooth one, so I might have to plug in my other one. Okay. Yeah. We've been convinced of certain people showing up in certain shows time and time again. Don't want to get too hyped, but Keanu Reeves as Darth Revan is the most hyped thing I've ever heard in my life. So, yeah. Acolyte is going to be great. Logan, you might be right. You might be right. Austin says, the sequels are garbage. The prequels and the originals and the Clone Wars are gold. Yeah. Pretty much 100% agree with you there. Well, I do 100% agree with you there. But let's read on where this is coming from, what this is going to be about. We'll talk about all of it. Talk about all of it. So, back to here. So the article talks about online rumors from recent days revealing that Keanu Reeves is a part of the cast for the Acolyte show. The article itself did not link to where the rumor originated, but I discovered that it was reported by a giant freaking robot. Here's the thing. Giant freaking robot has been wrong time and time again. However, they have been right a lot, and a lot more recently. Let's say that. They've been right about a lot of different Marvel things, but they do get some things here and there about Star Wars correct as well. They're definitely more of a Marvel-centered account, I guess. I guess there's just more Marvel news because there's more Marvel projects, which makes sense. So take it with a giant grain of salt or a giant freaking robot as we read on. 6 days ago, that Reeves filmed a cameo for a Disney Plus series. Keanu Reeves has long been fan cast as Darth Revan, the beloved character from the Knights of the Old Republic games. So if it was true, then I'm sure some fans would be delighted. Personally, I don't subscribe to the reports, as Giant Freaker Robot in my personal opinion, does not have a stellar track record when it comes to Star Wars reports. And my readers know that I only cover online rumors from outlets and individuals that I believe to be highly accurate, he says as he's covering a Giant Freaking Robot report. I continue. It is worth mentioning that Giant Freaking Robot has a better record with non-Star Wars reports. Recently, exclusive reporting that Linda Hamilton's Terminator was cast in Stranger Things Season 5 days before it was announced officially that Kurt Russell, the Thing, was cast in Apple's upcoming live-action Godzilla series. So they do get a lot of reports correct, but they're saying that with Star Wars, they don't really get a lot correct. So they don't really usually write articles about them, but here they are writing an article about them. Okay, The Acolyte, which is set during the High Republic era, will follow a former Padawan and her master as they investigate a series of crimes, but encountering forces more sinister than what they've imagined. The series star Amanda Steinberg as the lead, as well as Lee Jang Cha from Squid Games, Daphne Keane from Logan, Manny Jacinto, from The Good Place, Jodie Turner-Smith from After Yang, no idea, Charlie Bennett, Rebecca Henderson, Dean Charlie Chapman, Carrie Ann Moss, and Margarita, is that her real first name? Margarita Levy, sure. Oh, she's in Daredevil Born Again. That's pretty cool. The Acolyte is due to release sometime in 2024 on Disney Plus, of course. So this description for the Acolyte show has changed time and time again. Just based off of whatever your source is, whatever you're reading from, it changes all the time. But this one says, the Acolyte is set during the High Republic era. That never changes. But it will follow a former Padawan and her Jedi Master as they investigate a series of crimes, but encounter forces more sinister than what they've ever imagined. We've heard that description many, many times. We've heard the description of this village where these two daughters, and one of them gets taken away and the other one is too old or something, and then a Sith Lord comes into town and trains her instead. We've heard many different things. However, there's still a ton of question marks when it comes to this series. Not many set photos were leaked at all, and they seem to be keeping a lot of stuff secret when it comes to this show, which is kind of crazy when you think about it, because a Sith-centered show, you'd think they'd, especially in a new time period where we've never gone before, you'd think they'd be trying to give us some set photos, give us some information, give us anything so that we know what's going on and we get excited for it. I know it's still months and months and months and months away, but you still want your fans to be anticipating what's to come next. In this show, as far as we know, a Sith-centered show that could involve Keanu Reeves as Darth Revan, could involve all these other characters as Sith users with the High Republic era with multiple Jedis. You'd think that you'd want people to be talking about it. You'd think. But what do we think about this? Do you think the reports are true, even though it's coming from Giant Freaking Robot? Do you think that it's possible we could get Keanu Reeves as Darth Revan? And how would we even get it? How would we even get him in the Acolyte show? Would it be a flashback? Would it be just a voiceover or some sort of ancient Sith ritual? I don't know. I don't. What do we think? What do we think? Darth Lopez says, nope, not having it. I don't know. I don't know. Honey Badger says, if they can bring in Lizzo and Jack Black and don't give us Keanu as Revan, I'd be highly disappointed. Here's the thing, too. Keanu Reeves is like the nicest guy in Hollywood ever. And I'm sure if you came to him and said, do you want to be in Star Wars? He's not going to say no. He's just not. The guy wants to be in Star Wars. Austin says, the Sith have returned. Yeah, so that's the big question with the Acolyte show. How is it going to be a Sith-centered show when, according to Mace Windu, over the last 1,000 years, there have been no Sith? It's going to be very, very interesting to see how the Sith remain in the shadows, not seen by Jedi, or if the Jedi are just hiding something. If Mace Windu is just hiding something, or if Yoda's hiding something from Mace Windu in the prequel trilogy. It is possible that Yoda is a keeper of some secret, a big secret in the prequel trilogy, and that would add a lot to his character for sure. But it is possible that the Sith could have been around just like 100 years ago, and only Yoda would be the one who knows about it because he was the only one who was still alive. So it'll be very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Logan says, apologies for lack of knowing, but will the Acolyte be in the same era as Revan? No. So that's the biggest thing, is the Old Republic is thousands, tens of thousands? I think it's just thousands. I think it's like 10,000 years before the prequel trilogy. Let me double check myself. Though that's stupid. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so it says here, at least on the Star Wars fandom like Wikipedia stuff, it says 25,000 years to 1,000 years. So it's a very long time period, the Old Republic that is. And I'm sure they're going to change that because the Dawn of the Jedi is now the 25,000 years mark. So the Old Republic's going to be a few thousand years, but it's thousands of years before the prequel trilogy. This show is only 150 years. So yeah, it's been a long time since Darth Revan. Revan is thousands of years gone. He's been gone for a long, long time. However, there is a deleted scene. Now tell me if you guys remember this. Dave Filoni was even talking about this. There's a deleted scene that George Lucas George Lucas wanted to put in the Clone Wars. Or maybe Dave wanted to put it in the Clone Wars. One of them, I think Dave Filoni wanted to put this scene in the Clone Wars and George said no. Or vice versa. George wanted to put it in and Dave said no. Because of the implications that it sets. It was kind of like Darth Bane. You remember when the ghost of Darth Bane comes to Yoda and talks to Yoda in Season 6 of the Clone Wars? It's very similar to that. You're also going to get Darth Revan and some other Sith Lords speaking in the Clone Wars. And this was going to be around the Mortis arc. And this would have changed a lot because this would have meant that Darth Revan found a way to exist in the Force. It would have been like a Sith Force Ghost type thing, and it would have just opened up the door to insane possibilities with the Sith. The fact that a Sith Lord who died thousands of years ago could still communicate with characters now changes everything, changes the entire game. So either Dave or George, I completely forget who, one of them said, no, we can't do this, it's too crazy. I know, right? Too crazy. The guy who created the World Between Worlds, the guy who created the Mortis arc, the guy who created the Wills of the Force. Yeah, it's too crazy to have Darth Revan speak. But at some point, Darth Revan was going to speak. Now, maybe, just maybe, George is gone and he's no longer able to stop this from happening. And it's possible that we get a similar scene of a ghost of Darth Revan speaking to a younger Sith generation or the Sith in this show, in the Acolyte show. And they steal that exact scene from the Clone Wars and just put it in this show because it's a Sith-centered show. But the implications of that are Revan is now canon, and Revan is now canon as Keanu Reeves. So you're going to quickly have to go to the Old Republic to get all the Keanu Reeves that you can possibly get as Revan. Because you can't just cast Keanu as Revan for this one cameo and then just go to somebody else as Revan. That's not going to work. If you want to go to Revan years later, people are going to expect Keanu. And he's only getting older. How old's Keanu Reeves? Do we know? Somebody help me out. Somebody help me out. How old is Keanu Reeves? Darth Lopez says, but what is happening with Darth Plagueis? So that's a good question. We don't know. Darth Plagueis could be in this show, but as of right now, it's still just so many question marks around this show, so we don't really know. We don't. But I do hope Darth Plagueis is in there just for your sake, Darth Lopez. Because they were in hiding, they were putting a grand plan into effect. Oh, you mean the Sith? Yes, they're putting a grand plan into effect. Yeah, but they weren't putting a grand plan into effect for 1,000 years. Darth Plagueis wasn't alive for 1,000 years. Palpatine put the grand plan into effect with Plagueis, but that was only within a few tens of years. I like that Yoda knew something and kept it a secret. I think that is a possibility. The way that they're putting up Yoda in the High Republic books right now, and I'm not really reading the High Republic books, but I'm getting like the Cliff Notes type stuff, so I want to read them. I do, but it's just so much going on, you know. But correct me if I'm wrong, but Yoda has very weird, mysterious story arcs throughout the High Republic books. And it seems like they're kind of playing on the fact that Yoda's a mysterious character. He really is in the prequels and the original trilogy. He speaks in a way where you always think that he's hiding something. And when you really keep that in mind and go back and watch the prequel trilogy, he's definitely hiding something. Dennis says, is Shin maybe Kata from Jedi Survivor? Shin maybe Shin. Is Shin the girl from... No, I don't think so. Well, Shin has white hair. That girl didn't have white hair, which is obviously she could dye her hair, but it seems unlikely. I would say no. My guess would be no, but that would be a cool thing to put in there. That would be cool. He's talking about... what was the guy's name in Jedi Survivor? The guy with the jetpack that we hated so much. Ended up... spoiler alert. He ended up becoming evil. What was his name? Something stupid. But his daughter is what Dennis is talking about. His daughter. What if his daughter ends up being Shin from the Ahsoka trailer? I doubt it, but that would be cool. I doubt it, but it would be cool. Darth Lopez says 100 years, not 150. Is it only 100? I thought it was 150. The Acolyte show? I'm not too sure. Honey Badger says, that would be actually mind-blowing, Mike. Yeah, I mean... If Darth Revan was in the show, you mean the whole Force Ghost thing that I was talking about, Sith Ghost? I'd be 1,000% down for that. Darth Lopez says, did I miss the Ahsoka leaks? No, you did not miss the Ahsoka leaks. If you're in here right now, you did not miss the Ahsoka leaks. We're going to go over them after we finish talking about Darth Revan coming and Keanu Reeves coming in as Darth Revan. No, you did not miss them yet. We're going to go over them. Jonathan Welch says, this may be a stupid question. There's no stupid questions, but it might be. And kind of off topic. But does anyone know if we ever had a Sith from Yoda's species? Well, that's a stupid question. No, just kidding, Jonathan. No, we haven't. Because maybe in Legends somewhere down the line. But to my knowledge, no. Because the only 3 Yoda species we've ever seen, at least in canon, are Yoda, Yaddle, and Grogu. So... no. As far as now, no. Austin Snow says 50 years before the Phantom Menace. Is that... Wait, what? Somebody... I'll do it. When does the Acolyte take place? The end of the High Republic era, approximately 100 years before Episode 1. There you go. Darth Lopez. Never doubt him. Never doubt him. Never. 100 years before. Oh, I just poured so much water on myself. I don't know. Dun dun. Okay. So I think that's all about the Darth Revan stuff. I mean, that would be absolutely wild, and I'm sure all of us would love that. But let's get into these Ahsoka leaks because they are almost just as wild. I was very, very excited when I did see this. This is coming from Bespin Bulletin as well. They are very reliable, as we've read from them many, many times. But these Ahsoka leaks are actually insane. So this is coming from the end of Ahsoka. Thanks for the hearts, guys. I didn't even know you guys could honestly do that, but I'm seeing hearts come up. That's crazy. Spam some hearts. Is that like a thing you guys can do? Spam hearts. Do it now. Do it. Oh my God, it's happening. What the hell? That's cool. Okay. That's so cool. Okay. I didn't know that was a thing. I'm getting all these hearts. It's nice. I feel loved. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's talk about Ahsoka. Here we go. So let's get right into it because it's wild. It's wild. Okay. All right. Here we go. Are you ready? Wait. Are you guys ready? Like, are we ready? I need some. Oh, we got. You guys can do other emojis too? What the hell? This is crazy. Well, how many emojis do you got? Whoa. Austin's ready. Whoa, 100. $100? Wait, what? All right, let's read this article. How Star Wars Ahsoka reportedly ends. Again, this is just a rumor for now. But let's read it. We are just under a month away from the release of the highly anticipated Mandalorian spin-off series and Star Wars Rebels successor, Ahsoka. Yeah! So excited for Ahsoka. Can't wait for Ahsoka. Ahsoka's less than a month away. Calm down. Okay. Over the past few months, many details on the series have reportedly leaked, and it seems as if the ending of the series is already out there. Here we go. Fans of Rebels are already familiar, but for the more casual readers, the villain of the Mandoverse, Grand Admiral Thrawn, has been trapped in the unknown parts of the galaxy for many years following a confrontation with the Jedi Ezra Bridger in the series finale of Star Wars Rebels. Bridger, in a desperate attempt to save his friends and the planet Lothal, his homeworld, used a species known as the Purgle to help trap Thrawn and his army before jumping into Lightspeed, which took Bridger, Thrawn, and the latter's army to an unknown part in the galaxy where they've remained for years. In the Rebels epilogue, Ahsoka Tano and the Mandalorian by the name of Sabine Wren, a friend of Badger's, embarked on their journey to find the missing Jedi. So this unknown space that they're talking about here multiple times in this paragraph here is the rumored New Beyond, which is supposed to be this new space where the Night Sisters originated from, where there's these new Force users. It opens the door to infinite amount of possibilities. We talked all about that on Saturday's stream where we talked all about Ahsoka. In The Mandalorian's Season 2, Ahsoka Tano appeared and confronted a subordinate of Thrawn, Morgan Elsbeth. So Morgan Elsbeth is going to be one of the main characters of this show, main villains at least, and demanded to know of Thrawn's location. If Ahsoka and co. can find Thrawn, chances are they'll be able to find Ezra and stop the return of the Grand Admiral. The Elsbeth character, according to reports, is building a large vessel to help transport Thrawn from the unknown location he's been trapped in for years. So here in the story, you have two sides in a race to find somebody of great importance to them, both of who are in the same location. So you have Morgan Elsbeth, Baylan, and Shin, that's your main core of bad guys, trying to get Thrawn out of this New Beyond. Then you have Sabine, Ahsoka, Harrison Dula, and those core of good guys trying to save Ezra from the same new beyond. So both characters are in the same spot, and both casts of good and bad characters are trying to get to the same spot. So it's kind of just a race to get to the same spot. Where was I? The Grand Admiral, despite being stuck in the unknown location, is still operating from the shadows, controlling the Imperial remnant left in the galaxy. Viewers are familiar with, as mentioned in The Mandalorian Season 3, with Moff Gideon questioning why Thrawn doesn't attend the Imperial Shadow Council meetings, and just how imminent his reappearance is. So we know all about that in Season 3 of The Mandalorian. I think it was the second to last episode. Maybe, the last. Was it the beginning of the last episode? Doesn't matter. The Shadow Council had a meeting, and Moff Gideon was very upset that Thrawn wasn't here yet, but they did allude to Thrawn coming very soon, and he has a whole army coming with him. And this army is reportedly an undead army of stormtroopers held together by gold and Night Sister magic. Honestly, the words that I say sometimes are just so damn cool. Like, come on. Okay. Here we go. Where was I? According to Making Star Wars. So this is a fantastic source. We talked about Giant Freaking Robot not being a great source. This is one of the best, if not the best, out there for Star Wars reports. Making Star Wars. Both Elsbeth and Tano are both successful in their ventures to the location where Ezra and Thrawn have been residing. So both Ahsoka and Morgan Elsbeth. So Morgan Elsbeth creates this new ship that we've seen multiple times in the trailer to get to this new beyond, and that is successful. It looks like Ahsoka and Sabine are going to take the Purgle to the new beyond, and they are also going to be successful. So both parties are successful. Thrawn has an army of undead stormtroopers. That's amazing. Undead stormtroopers. Are you guys familiar with what is it called? The comic with the undead, the zombie stormtroopers. What's the name of it? Somebody help me out in the chat. You guys familiar with that? That is the coolest thing ever, and it's coming to live action, and it's going to be Thrawn's army of undead stormtroopers. Are you kidding me right? Are you kidding me right now? Okay, moving on. Thrawn will have an army of undead stormtroopers with him, whereas Ezra Bridger has learned a combat form that mixes martial arts with the Force. So he doesn't have his lightsaber. He doesn't have his lightsaber because Sabine has it. He left it for Sabine, but he learned without a lightsaber how to protect himself by learning a mix of martial arts with the Force. I can't wait to see how they pull that off. Ahsoka Tano and Sabine have two goals: locating and rescuing their missing friend, and a second, and arguably more important task, is preventing Thrawn and his army from returning to the galaxy. So from the new beyond to the galaxy. So, the outlet claims that our heroes fail. I've had many discussions about this over the last few days. Many discussions over the last few days about how the best movies, and it's way too obvious in Star Wars, the best movies, arguably, but what I say is just a fact, and we know that here. The best movies are when the good guys lose. Look at all the movies ever. The best movies are when the good guys lose. Rocky 1, he loses. Infinity War, it's probably the best Marvel movie, arguably. The good guys, they lose. Then you look at the best two Star Wars movies. Arguably, best two Star Wars movies are Empire Strikes Back, good guys lose, and Revenge of the Sith, good guys lose horribly. Thousands of Jedi die. I mean, the Emperor wins, and it's a very rough time in the galaxy. So this might be the same scenario here. The good guys are going to lose. And it might not be pretty. Like, they might lose in a big, bad way. Here we go. The outlet claims that our heroes fail in their mission, and Thrawn triumphantly returns to the galaxy to the dismay of our heroes in the 8th and final episode of the season. So this is going to end with Thrawn saying, "What's up, guys? I'm back with an undead army of stormtroopers, and nobody is going to stop me." Let's read on. In one of the final scenes, Thrawn reportedly walks out from his ship and sees all of his forces stood before him, including Morgan Elsbeth, the fallen Jedi Baylan Skoll, Baylan's apprentice Shin Hati, a gold-faced right-hand man named Enoch. We'll get to him in a second. And his Imperial army, meaning stormtroopers, meaning undead stormtroopers. Thrawn reportedly reveals in this moment that he promises that a reckoning is coming. It's going to be very, 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 very similar to like Thanos at the end of Avengers 1, where he sees the gauntlet and he says, "Fine, I'll do it myself." That's going to be how Ahsoka ends. We'll read the rest of this article in a second, but I want to know what you guys think about that. What? What do we think? What do we think? What do we think? Austin says, "I love Ahsoka." Yeah. Jonathan says, "Okay, gotta go. See you later, Jonathan. I wish Ezra and Sabine kiss. I'm sure that will happen. I won't doubt it." Swagger like us, what's up, Swagger? Says, "Wow." Honey Badger says, I have no idea, but that sounds so damn cool. Walker troopers? Yeah, pretty much. Zombie stormtroopers. Zombie stormtroopers. Is that like the celebration emoji? That's hilarious. Austin says, Sabine tries to use the Force. Shin mad. You have no power. That's true. We still don't know if Sabine is going to have the Force. I mean, you guys can tell me if you want what you think, but I don't know. I go back and forth. Darth Lopez says, then Luke will save the day. Yeah, so it's going to be leading up to this Heir to the Empire movie. Dave Filoni's movie that was announced at Star Wars Celebration earlier this year. That's what this is all leading to. And Thrawn's going to be the main bad guy. But to your point, Lopez, do you guys think that Luke, Leia, and Han are going to be involved in this fight? Do you think they have the money, the ability, the want, the stupidity of Kathleen Kennedy? Do you think it's possible that they actually do give us Luke, Leia, and Han versus Thrawn? Or are they just going to do Ahsoka, Mando, Boba Fett, maybe Cal Kestis, if we're lucky, the Ghost Crew, and that's it, versus Thrawn and his army? Do you think no Luke Skywalker, no Leia, no Han versus this massive threat to the galaxy? Kind of sounds way too hard to believe. If there's this huge army, the next empire is coming, you don't think Luke, Leia, and Han would be at the front lines helping defend their galaxy? I don't know. What do you guys think? Darth Lopez says, oof, I don't know about that one. I don't know. The deepfake technology, is it good enough? And if not, if you're going to recast, are you going to do that? And if you are going to deepfake, are you going to deepfake for all 2 hours of the movie? Like, there's so many questions that need to be answered to involve those three characters. So maybe they'll just say, let's not do it. Let's just avoid those three characters. Have this cool fight with Thrawn versus Ahsoka versus Ezra versus Cal Kestis versus Mando versus Boba Fett versus the Mandalorians. I don't know. Austin says, I hope so. I do too. I think we need Luke in that movie. And we need badass Luke. And maybe he wins but loses, you know what I'm saying? Like, he wins versus Thrawn, but maybe the First Order rises right up and Snoke comes in the last minute and wins. Who knows? Who knows? Something big has to happen to make Luke Skywalker the Luke Skywalker we've seen in The Last Jedi. That's for sure. That is for sure. Honey Badger says, I really hope Sabine doesn't get the Force. I hope she's trained as a Jedi without Force abilities because she'll she'll unique. She is unique, I'm guessing, and would be better for her character to have her be a master of a saber without having the Force. I think that's how they're probably going to go. I mean, Sabine with the Force would be very, very cool, but then at that point, you're just giving everybody the Force. At that point, you'll have Ezra, Ahsoka, Grogu, Jason Syndulla, hopefully, Luke Skywalker, Leia, like all these characters that have the Force. It should be more of a, I say it should be more of a special thing, but then there was tens of thousands of Jedi at one point, not that long ago. Austin says, because Disney is losing money. That's true. Disney is losing a lot of money, but they also talk about not spending as much money. So maybe not spending as much money would be not including Luke, Leia, and Han in the Dave Filoni movie. I don't know. It's going to be very, very interesting. This Ahsoka show, man, is going to be insanity. I can't wait. It's less than a month away. Less than a month away. August 23rd. The watch parties are right around the freaking corner. So excited. And by then, we'll be able to do giveaways. I can almost guarantee it. We are 200 and some odd watch hours away from being able to do that. Do giveaways, do memberships and stuff like that. So we're right around that corner. So we'll be able to do giveaways for the Ahsoka Live watch parties. We'll be able to do a lot of fun stuff on the channel. But also, the Ahsoka show itself is going to be freaking mind-blowing. It's going to be so damn good. And if this ending is anywhere close to the ending that we're going to get, I'm perfectly okay with that. That sounds amazing. The good guys lose. Thrawn comes to the galaxy with his whole entire army. Now let's talk about Enoch, okay? So as the article states, in one of the final scenes, Thrawn reportedly walks out of his ship and sees all of his forces stood before him, including Elsbeth, Balin's apprentice Shin, and his gold-faced right-hand man named Enoch. So, Enoch, what do we know about him? So far, not very much. However, we do know that he is a Force user. We do know that his face is covered in gold. Whether it's a mask, whether it's just literally just his face is gold, we don't know. But where did he come from? Where did he go? Where did he come from? Cotton Eye Joe. We don't know. There's so much question marks behind the character of Enoch, but he's a Force user. He's Thrawn's right-hand man. What does that mean? Where did he come from? He was just hanging out in this New Beyond area, and Thrawn was like, let me be friends with this guy, and then he becomes his right-hand man? That doesn't make any sense to me, but I'm sure it will be explained, and I'm sure it will be awesome, because he's got a freaking gold face. Talk about everything Dave Filoni touches turns to gold. This guy's face literally turned to gold. What do we think about the Enoch character? What do we think? Honey Badger says, let's go. Happy for you, man. Seriously. Your watch hours keep going up, and that's the number that keeps getting lower. Excited to see the channel continue to grow. Yeah, the channel's doing great. It's awesome. The last few videos we've done have done spectacular, but it's all because of you guys. You guys are the absolute best for watching all these videos, liking them, commenting, doing all the fun stuff. So it's all your fault that we're here talking. And yes, good cups, follow orders. Missed it. Austin says, I hope the Ahsoka show will do justice for The Mandalorian Season 3 because the Ahsoka show takes place during The Mandalorian Season 3. That's true. That is true. So I think there still is that big time jump in the middle of Ahsoka, in the middle of the season. So I think half of the season will take place in the same time as The Mandalorian Season 3. And I think that will be the second half. So I think the reason we didn't see Ahsoka or Sabine or any of those characters in The Mandalorian Season 3 is because of what they're doing in Ahsoka. They are obviously going to the New Beyond, but so they're not really around as much as you would think they are. That's also probably why we didn't see Harrison Dula in Mando Season 3. It's probably why we did see Zeb, because the two are supposed to be very, very intertwined. But I do think the Ahsoka show is going to end later than The Mandalorian as well. Darth Lopez says, "You're welcome, dude." Hey, thanks, Darth Lopez. It's all you. It's all you, buddy. It's all your fault. It's all your fault. Honey Badger says, "Enoch sounds interesting. Force abilities or Night Sister Force abilities?" So, Night Sisters don't use the Force, actually. They're magic users, which I've heard some fans be upset about, some fans be excited for. What do we think about the concept of magic being involved in Star Wars? to put it lightly. Magic in Star Wars. Are you guys okay with that? Do you think it's too Harry Potter? Do you think it's too Magic the Gathering or any other magic thing, I guess? Do you think it's too out of place in Star Wars? What do you think about magic? I mean, it's been around since the Clone Wars. It's been around since like 2008, 2009. Since the Night Sisters were introduced in the Clone Wars. It's been around since then. So it's not like a new concept. However, it's going to be a lot more utilized in live action. A lot more. But what do we think? Austin says, "I gotta go. May the Force be with you." See you later, Austin. Have a great rest of your evening. Yeah, so I think he'll be a Force user, Force abilities, but I don't think it will be Night Sister, like magic. Honey Badger says, "Hey, it worked in Jedi Survivor. It looked amazing and similar to the Force, but has some more features that are not like it, or less like it." Okay. Yeah, so obviously magic is very similar to the Force. However, it's not the same. Now, obviously, it's magic in the Force. It's different things. But we see the Night Sisters do a lot of crazy stuff. They have rituals. They have curses. They bring people back to life, of course, which is why he has an undead army of undead stormtroopers. Thrawn, that is. So he's going to be working with not only Enoch, who's a Force-sensitive bad guy, but also the Night Sisters. So he's going to be... Thrawn gets shit done, okay? He's got 10 years, and he's created an entire army. He's become friends with a Sith. Leave it up to Thrawn to just do some crazy shit over 10 years being alone. Yeah, so I don't know. It's going to be very, very interesting. It's going to be very, very interesting. And yes, Jedi Survivor did the Night Sister stuff very, very well. I mean, Merrin is such a cool character, and wow, was that a cool, like, all those sequences with Merrin when you're working together is so damn cool. But yeah, I'm hoping we see a lot more of the Night Sister magic and a lot more of that cool stuff. Yeah. Wait, I knew there was something else I wanted to talk about. Where was? Hang on. Boom 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 boom. Oh yes, the Star Wars Outlaws. So we gotta talk about Star Wars Outlaws a little bit here. Star Wars Outlaws could be insane. This game could be so damn cool. Whoa. Have you guys heard about this yet? Star Wars Outlaws now says, let me pull it up for you guys right here. I can do it pretty quickly. Here we go. This is Star Wars Outlaws. You can work for and even betray Jabba the Hutt in Star Wars Outlaws. That means you can work for him. Like, obviously, this game is open world. By that, I mean you can literally create a character and do one certain thing and create a completely separate character and do one other thing, and your whole story is completely different. Like, each decision you make alters the game completely. So you can work for Jabba, you could not work for Jabba, you could even betray Jabba the Hutt, but Jabba the Hutt is a extremely involved character in this game, and this is when he has Han frozen in carbonite. We see it in the trailer for this game. Han frozen in carbonite being brought to Jabba the Hutt. So this game's going to be insane. Like, the amount of open worldedness that comes with it is bonkers. Like, the different Jesus, what the hell is that? The different decisions that you make obviously alter the course of your character and alter the course of the game entirely. But when it comes to like wanted, we saw this in the gameplay. If you guys weren't here for that stream, we watched the gameplay of the game. When you are wanted by the Empire, it's like GTA when you have stars on you and the cops are chasing you down. That happens in this game. You do something wrong, you kill somebody and somebody sees you from the Empire or something like that. You get caught by stormtroopers, whatever it is. You get wanted by the Empire, they find you and you have to either kill them, elude them, hide from them. It's just like GTA almost. It's very, 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 very cool, very interactive, very decision-based, and very open world. And you can even work with fucking Jabba the Hutt. Like, this game is going to be wild, and I can't wait for it. And it's just a beginning, because we've always been asking for open world Star Wars games. Jedi Survivor was a huge hit, and it wasn't really open world, but it was kind of getting there. And now we're finally gone to open world Star Wars games, and the biggest complaint for this game is people can't customize their own character. So obviously, they're hearing the complaints. I still think this game's going to be spectacular, but they're taking those complaints into account, and they're going to probably, when they come up with the next open world game, is, of course, make the character customizable. Until then, this Star Wars Outlaws game looks incredible. It looks incredible. The gameplay looks incredible. The story looks incredible. It takes place in between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, which is an amazing time period. You're in the Empire. You're in the crime syndicates. You're a scoundrel. It looks awesome. But what do you guys think? Are you guys excited for this game? Are you guys excited for the next Star Wars game? Swaggerly says, I want vintage Luke, but too much. What? You want him too much? I'm confused. Like, Vader doesn't appear often, but when he does, it's epic. Oh, I got you. Similar to Boba Fett in Jedi Survivor. His short cameo impressed me more than Book of Boba Fett. That's true. The Vader treatment with Disney is very, very good. They have him in Rogue One for a few scenes where it's spectacular. His hallway scene is epic. They have him in Rebels, but they don't overuse him in Rebels either. They have him in Jedi Fallen Order where he comes in and he's badass. They have him in Jedi Survivor where he comes in and he's badass. They have him in Kenobi. Even in that, they don't overutilize him, and he's amazing in it. Like, they have Darth Vader down to a science at Disney. It's one of the best things that they do over there. And honestly, you can't give any of the credit to Kathleen Kennedy, because there's an entire team that works as the Darth Vader team pretty much to bring him to life. And that's very, very cool. But it's definitely not Kathleen. So Honey Badger says, okay, this game actually does sound pretty cool. Yeah, I know. You were all bummed out about it because it wasn't coming out on the PlayStation. It's coming out on every single console. It's coming out on everything. PC, Xbox, PlayStation. And it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. Swaggerliga says, glad this game isn't Jedi-centric. That's a good point, too. Yeah, so the Force, lightsabers, it's cool. It's awesome. It's Star Wars. However, so is bounty hunting. So is scoundrels. So is the underworld. So is being a stormtrooper. So is all this other stuff. That's why Battlefront 2 is so cool. You can play as Jedis and Force users, but you can also play as just droids or stormtroopers. So it's very, very cool that it's not Jedi-centric, especially coming off the back of a Jedi-centric game like Jedi Survivor. I think it's going to be very, very cool. I think it's going to be very, very cool. And I can't wait. I can't wait. Honey Badger says, I was indeed misinformed, but glad it's all on all consoles. Yeah. Yes, you were misinformed. That's why you always come here for your information. This is the best spot for your Star Wars information. Keep telling you guys. Just kidding. Here's the goal. Here's the dream. You ready? You ready for the dream? The dream. I don't know. Should I tell you the dream? Lou the Goat, UFO day tomorrow. I did see that. Of course, Lou. Of course, you would come in here and say that. No, just kidding. Yeah, UFO day tomorrow. He's talking about there's a thing going on in the United States, if you guys aren't from the United States, where they're talking UFOs in Congress, and it's a very public thing, and it's a very big thing. If you're big into the UFO things, yeah. It'll be fun. It'll be fun to see what comes out about it. It'll be fun to see what comes out about it. Congressional Oversight Committee is about UAP. I don't know what UAP stands for, but I'm guessing it has something to do with UFOs. Yeah. Any other Star Wars news going on here? We talked about the Acolyte show. We talked about Keanu Reeves. We talked about the ending of Ahsoka, which is so sick. What else we got? It's so funny, too, because right before this Keanu Reeves Darth Revan news came out, this article came out a few days before that said Star Wars wants genderless design for Darth Revan. If Keanu Reeves is Darth Revan, I don't think that's a genderless role there. Here's the thing. The Knights of the Old Republic remake that was supposed to be canon to Star Wars is still somewhere off in the works. It is still in the works. Now, it was delayed indefinitely a long time ago, but that studio has been bought out since. Like, a lot has really happened with that. So, yeah, I really hope we still get that Knights of the Old Republic remake just for Knights of the Old Republic sake. But I just want to go to the Old Republic, like, now. Like, what are we waiting for at this point? If you're going to bring in Keanu Reeves as Darth Revan, just do it. Just do it and just go. Just take him, make him the main character as a Jedi. Go Revan Jedi first, and then have him turn to the dark side. That's all I ask. That's all I ask. I guess that's the dream. I guess that's the dream. What about this? This says Star Wars confirms 3 Jedi trapped in the Obi-Wan Kenobi Jedi tombs. Yeah, of course, that guy from that. All right, who cares? That's not important. There's a hot toy for Anakin. I don't think there's much else going on here. I think I'm going to work on a Keanu Reeves video for a possible appearance in the Acolyte show. But I'm also working on a video about these Ahsoka leaks because they're insane. So watch out for those 2 videos. I'm probably going to post hopefully one of them tomorrow if I get around to it, if I have enough time throughout this next 48 or 24 hours. But we're going to try and do those, the videos as, what are they called? Premieres, because that's just more fun. I forgot to do it, honestly, on the Sunday video, which was a bummer. But yeah, so watch out for the premieres. I'm going to do them at 4 p.m. now, because according to my analytics, it's when you guys are on my channel the most or whatever. I don't know. But we're going to do them at 4 p.m. and we're going to do them live premieres so I can be in the chat and talk with you guys while we do them and stuff like that. I think we're going to get on out of here. There is not much news other than the fact of those amazing Ahsoka leaks and, of course, Keanu Reeves possibly being Darth Revan in the Acolyte show. So, other than those 2 amazing news stories, there's nothing else to really talk about, so I'm going to get on out of here. Of course, actually, I forgot to talk about this, but there is no live stream this Thursday. I am going to see Oppenheimer on Thursday. Kind of excited about it. Anybody seen Oppenheimer yet? Anybody seen Oppenheimer or even Barbie? Anybody seen the movies yet? I'm going on Thursday. I'm going to the biggest screen I can find. It's a 70 millimeter, whatever it is, IMAX, whatever. I got the best of the best, okay? I'm driving like an hour and a half to see it. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. I'm excited. So no stream Thursday, but definitely stream Saturday. Watch out for videos. Actually, maybe I'll post that video on Thursday. Yeah, it's because we won't have a stream. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that instead. So yeah. Where did this poll end up at? 83% of you say yes, you do want a Keanu Reeves as Darth Revan. That's kind of surprising. 16% said no. What do you guys? What? All right. on that note, I'm going to get on out of here. Smash a like on this video if you liked it. Hit subscribe. Hit that bell so you get notified every time I post a video. And my pretty face will show up in the recommended feed of yours. Of yours. Of yours. Okay. And may the force be with you. Always, 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 always. What the? Where is that stupid button? Found it. Found it. What a great stream. What a great show. You guys are the absolute best. Thank you for sticking around with me. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for being awesome. Thank you for being you. Smash a gosh darn like on this video. On this video. Swagger says, I want Keanu Reeves as Revan, but not in Leslie's series. Ooh, interesting. Honey Badger says, I haven't seen either, but I've heard Oppenheimer was great. Yeah, I hope it's great. I'm hoping it's great. All right. Have a great rest of your evening. Have a great rest of your lives. And good night, everybody.